The Nigeria Police Force has condemned the unprovoked attack on operatives in the early hours of Monday at Okonwo community in Ovia Northeast local government area of Edo State. The operatives, who are members of the Force Intelligence Department Intelligence Response Team, were in transit from Lagos through Edo State when they encountered a mob that had blocked the road immediately after the University of Benin. The mob, in an unlawful display of aggression, attacked the officers with stones and sticks, inflicting serious injuries on 2 police personnel. But despite the provocation and threat to life, the officers reportedly exercised commendable restraint by not resorting to the use of force. The injured officers are currently receiving medical attention and are in stable condition. In another development, the Inspector General of Police has ordered a comprehensive investigation into a tragic incident in Oyo State involving personnel of the Oyo State Police Command and the Oyo State Traffic Management Authority, which led to the killing of a 14-year-old boy, Kayode Alade. The Inspector General of Police condemned the incident, assuring that the officer involved in the shooting has been taken into custody while a full-scale investigation is underway. Let's bring in legal practitioner Ajiti Ogunye, who joins me on the news for more on the killing of the 14-year-old in Ibadan. Mr. Ogunye, thanks for joining us on the news tonight.
Good evening, and thank you for inviting me. Thank you, fellow Nigerians.
So, there's a Facebook post of yours that the newsroom is talking about. You said both the officer, the police officer, and the boy's father should face manslaughter charges. For many Nigerians, it may be difficult to understand how a grieving father who lost a son could bear legal responsibility. Walk us through the legal reasoning behind that position.
Well, first and foremost, the news of the death of the boy, Kayode Alade, broke my heart. It should break the heart of any person that has blood running his veins. It's a tragic incident, an unfortunate incident. I will pray for the repose of the soul of the victim, and we pray that God should comfort the grieving parents and family. Now, there's something called criminal culpability, criminal responsibility. And that criminal responsibility can arise from acting or not acting. When it arises from not acting, not observing the law, not doing what the law has commanded, or doing that which the law has prohibited, criminal negligence will arise. And so for a parent, as the facts available do show now, and this is viral because we could see some tapes, video clip, and in real time we could see what transpired. Who drove recklessly while bearing his beloved children to school in the morning, apparently because he wanted to arrive at the school very early, in defiance of traffic laws and in defiance of the order to stop, hitting vehicles, hitting culverts, and running away. Not excusing the shooting, he had caused a situation in which his action contributed largely to the fatal shot that occurred. And therefore, in my view, and the view of the law, it could be held responsible for criminal negligence and could be charged not only with violating traffic laws, but also with manslaughter.
Indeed.
Years back, we could recall that a sailor in Spain or thereabout who was taking some people on cruise, hit a rock, I think many years ago, and many people died in the process. And that sailor was charged and sentenced to life imprisonment or thereabout. So these are things that many people may not understand, but that's what the law provides.
I hear you clearly. Even though the man in question had a different story to tell, we spoke with him and he mentioned that he was with a tire technician and he needed to park in a certain way to have his tires fixed. But you have also talked about, you You mentioned that the police officer had no legal right to shoot, even if he thought a serious crime was being committed. What does the law actually say about when a policeman can use deadly force?
Well, the Constitution, and that's Section 33, foundationally provides a lawful excuse for using firearms, leading to the privation of life in case of an escaping felon or somebody who wanted to escape from lawful custody, or in the case of suppressing a riot. But in spite of that foundational lawful excuse that could be given, in any circumstance of the use of firearms or lethal weapon against suspect or accused persons suspected to have committed criminal offenses, including capital offenses, except counter force is deployed of the same rate. For example, armed robbers shooting at police in real time and causing harm and attempting to kill policemen, which would justify policemen opening fire and killing, those armed robbers who are shooting at them, or murderers, who are shooting at them, in the circumstances that we just witnessed. It might be very difficult to justify, the use of firearms in those circumstances. And so, because of that, the first regulation 237, the Police Act, make provision, for how lethal weapons could be used or deployed by policemen who are, civil authorities in the first instance, and who are, meant to protect lives and property. So it cannot, therefore, be something to be condoned easily if a policeman just, fires his weapons and then claims that his weapon accidentally discharged, or that it was a case of automation, or that it was a mistake and all that. The law will not, take kindly to that.
The IGP says justice will be done and that the officer is in custody. But people worry the case might be swept under the rug. What needs to happen now to make sure justice is truly served?
Well, what the IGP said is what is usually said. First, to manage a post-incident, crisis, to douse tension. But beyond the rhetoric, it is expected that justice truly will be done in this case. Perhaps the policeman didn't know that it was going to end in that kind of tragedy, but given the reckless way in which the policemen, fired weapons, and you hear, some of the other officers, policemen even asking, "Talon yibon, why did you fire?" and so on and so forth. So it's as it is said in local parlance, severance of a head, decapitation of a head, cannot be the cure for headache. So it can be. So there are situations in which even a fleeing traffic offender could be pursued and then arrested, or could be caught. Cameras already captured the number plates, and it could be traced thereafter and captured without excusing or condoning the recklessness of the father of the boy. In any case, if the assumption was that, this vehicle could be a kidnapper flying, or running away, or a murderer or an armed robber, the picture showed that they had opened the front door, to bring out the driver so they could see what was inside the vehicle, and that this just a reckless traffic violation, which went wrong. And so those circumstances would then, mean that excuses of, we didn't know, we thought that it was an armed robber that is fleeing, those excuses will not be tenable, given the circumstances and the facts of what policy. It's very unfortunate.
Well, sadly, we have another case of trigger-happy policemen in our hand, but it's a good place to leave it. Legal practitioner, Jitio Guye, thank you for talking to us.
Yes.